bread today. Here are my dry ingredients. I've got my coconut flour, baking powder, salt, cinnamon, flaxseed meal. And these are all organic ingredients, minus the salt. It's sea salt. Now for my wet ingredients. I've got 6 eggs. I'm going to be adding the zucchini. And the zucchini is actually, you see, everything is stuck inside of the colander. Right, I got my zucchini inside in the bowl. 2 medium to large zucchini, grated. And these are organic. The eggs are pasture raised. So now I'm going to add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. That's the tablespoon apple cider vinegar. And the apple cider vinegar is organic apple cider vinegar. Then a tablespoon of organic maple syrup. Almost forgot. Half a cup of organic coconut oil, melted. Gonna mix that all up. Now I know you're supposed to add the wet ingredients to the dry, but I'm going to do it opposite because I decided to put the wet in the largest bowl. And so I'm going to add the dry to the wet, little by little. Mix it up. And hopefully you don't have a problem. I'm going to do little by little. Now you can make a sweet or a savory zucchini bread. I'm making more of the sweet because I've added the honey. It's not a lot of honey. I'm not going to be adding any nuts this time, or raisins or anything of that nature. But the flaxseed meal is in here. There's a lot of flaxseed meal, so it brings a lot of nutrients in addition to the organic zucchini. And most ingredients in this are organic. And so if you are, you have a tendency to have sugar issues, diabetes and things of that nature, this should not be detrimental to your diet. But again, check with your physician first. Check with your doctor, because sometimes certain ingredients are allowed and sometimes they're not. And so it's getting a little bit thicker, as you can see. That's the last of the dry ingredients, and should be a little bit wet. I'm going to add this to a glass loaf pan. The recipe says you should add lined paper to it. I'm not a fan of lined paper if I have the proper loaf pans. So I've oiled my loaf pan with coconut oil, organic coconut oil. I spread coconut oil on it so that it won't stick. So here you have it. I'm going to scrape everything off of the spoon so that I can easily pour it into my loaf pan. So here's the glass oiled pan. Like I said before, I used organic coconut oil, and I'm going to add the mixture to it now. I neglected to mention that I did add some baking powder to this mix that will help it rise. This is going to go in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 55 minutes to about an hour. 55 to 60 minutes. And after it is done, I will allow it to cool and show you the finished product. There you have it. Spread it out evenly. Zucchini bread, gluten-free, grain-free. Did not add any nuts. As opposed to savory, I made it sweet because I decided to add some organic maple syrup. You can add honey. If you don't have the syrup, you don't want the syrup, you can add honey. I was also considering adding coconut sugar, but I decided, being that I already have coconut flour, that's the base of this zucchini bread, I will add the honey so it's not so overpowering with coconut. Well, first of all, coconut sugar is not even that coconutty. Did I just say coconutty? It's not. It's not that coconutty. It doesn't taste as much as coconut as the coconut oil and the coconut flour. So this is basically coconut zucchini bread. Grain-free, gluten-free. Gonna bake for about an hour. So let it cool, slice it, and then show you what it looks like. Making another bread recipe. This one is a low-carb coconut flour bread recipe. It's gluten-free, it's dairy-free. So I've got my coconut oil kind of solidified because the cold organic almond milk made it solidify just a little bit, but that's fine. It'll melt. There's 6 large eggs in here, pasture-raised eggs. And there's also some honey. I put a tablespoon of honey and the almond milk, coconut milk, the eggs, and the honey. That's the 4 wet ingredients. I'm going to add it now, this time around, to my dry ingredients, which are right here. And I've got my coconut flour, sea salt, and baking powder. So that's it. 7 ingredients. I'm going to add the wet to the dry. And I'm going to whisk that all up. So this is what it looks like, and I'll be adding it to my cast iron bread pan. Here it is. I've already added my coconut oil to it, and so I'm going to put the batter in there now. It's going to be very soft, but that's the texture you want. That's what it's supposed to be, so don't worry about that. Get the bread loaf pan kind of big? Yeah, probably, but that's all I have. So it'll probably be flat. First time I'm doing this grain-free, gluten-free bread, so the next time around, if I like the way it comes out, I will double the amount so I can have a bigger bread. So I'm going to put this in the oven, and it's going to bake for about 40 to 45 minutes, and then we'll see what it looks like. So here's the finished product. The zucchini bread is done. The grain-free, gluten-free zucchini bread. Now let's check on the coconut flour bread. Here's a coconut flour bread. I love the texture, the way it came out, golden, crispy on the top of the bread, as you can see. However, it didn't even fill up half the pan because there's no yeast in it or anything like that, but let's cut it and see what it looks like. Okay, the coconut bread looks awesome, y'all. Awesome, the texture is awesome. I put some butter on it, and now I'm gonna give it a taste. Yeah, this is it. Look at that. Look at the texture. This is awesome. This tastes great. If you don't like coconut, you might not like this, but the texture is awesome. The next time around, I'm going to double the recipe so if I can get more. So they can see it's a really short slice of bread, but the texture is great. With butter, it enhances it. It's still a little warm, so the butter melted, and this is really good. Good grain-free, gluten-free bread. Coconut flour bread. Enjoy. Here's a zucchini bread. I had to let it cool off. I cut about 2 slices and they broke up, but the reason why I had to put it back in the oven, which I did, was because it's a little bit too moist. I believe the next time around, what's going to have to happen is the zucchini is going to have to be measured. It wasn't measured. The recipe just called for 2 medium to large zucchini, grated. Who determines what's medium and what's large? Nevertheless, this is how it turned out, and it's still a little on the wet and oily side. So it needs, I believe, less zucchini, possibly more coconut flour, or perhaps almond flour next time. So I'll determine what I'm going to do, but to just give you an idea, this is what it looks like on the inside. And that's the zucchini bread. Let's take a taste. The taste is awesome. It's just too wet. So it needs less zucchini, perhaps with a combination of more flour. Other than that, it's healthy, it's tasty. made with organic coconut flour, organic shredded zucchini. This one has maple syrup, organic maple syrup, 6 pasture-raised eggs. I'll list all of the ingredients, but just so you know, this is the zucchini bread. Adjustments will be made next time around. Be in good health.